Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be going through my TBR because I'm going to be so for real right now. I have a long TBR list. I have been in the biggest reading slump ever and I'm just getting out of it and I have so many books on my list that I want to read. So let's get into it. This is the TBR. It's not like that big, but again it is. But let's start off with the first book. And this is a reread since I've already read it, but my first book on my TBR is Percy Jackson and the Titan's Curse. Season 3 comes out probably this December of the Disney Plus show. And if you were to ask me about specific details or like specific scenes that happen in this book, I could not tell you. Because that's how much I've forgotten about this book. Like, I know big plot points, but if you were to ask me about small details and like character appearances and like chapters, I could not tell you. So that means that it's time for a reread. So this is definitely on my list. And yeah, I love this book so much. It's like my second favorite book out of all 5 books. So I'm so excited to read it again and like prep for season 3 of the Disney Plus show. Then moving on, I have Nothing Like the Movies and Better Than the Movies. I am currently reading Better Than the Movies. I'm not that far into it, but so far I love it so much. Wes and Liz are giving like the classic enemies to lovers. Wes is like the typical jockey boy that's like head of the school football team, and he's like the sporty kind of guy, and he like teases Liz, who's like the complete opposite of him, and he's like, it's like they're meant to be, and I can't wait to see how their love story is going to unfold, and I am so excited to read further in this. But I'm loving the book so far, and I've heard really good things about Lynn Painter's books, so I'm really excited to read more of this, and also Nothing Than the Movies. Speaking of Nothing Than the Movies, I know that this is like the second like book after Better Than the Movies, and then you also have like Betting on You and then Fake Skating, which I will get to. But this is also on my TBR. This is, I think, like something happens between Wes and Liz, and like Wes tries to get her back. That's like the synopsis that I've read about this book and like stuff that I've heard about this book. But again, Lynn Painter's books are really good apparently, so I'm really excited to finally get into like the Lynn Painter universe. Then I have a book that isn't like really well known, I think, in my opinion, and that is Elsewhere by Gabrielle Zevin. And I actually got this book as a gift, I think like 2 years ago, and I've had it on my TBR and I've had it like on my bookshelf, and I've never ever picked up to read it. And it's like not that thick, and I consider myself like a fast reader. Like if I'm in the zone, if I'm like reading and like very interested in the book, I will get the book done in like an hour. And since this is like a relatively thin book, I will be reading this, and I think I can like read this in a day. But it's like about the story of like this is the synopsis. When 15-year-old Liz is killed in a car accident, she ends up in a place called Elsewhere. Here, death is only the start of your story. You can't get sick and you can't get older. Instead, you age backwards till you become a newborn baby again. But Liz wants to turn 16, not 14. She wants to learn to drive and go to college. Strangely though, Liz does find herself learning new skills and forging new relationships. Is it possible to grow up while getting younger? Wait, that's actually really interesting. I think I'm gonna like this book. I haven't seen many reviews about it, but the few that I have seen are like really good reviews about this book, so I'm really excited for this book. Then, people are gonna hate me for this and probably slander me, but it's Sunrise on the Reaping. I know that the movie comes out November 20th of this year, and so I have to read this book before the movie comes out. I've read of all of Suzanne Collins' books, so like I've read Hunger Games, I've read Catching Fire, I've read Mockingjay 1 and 2, or like they're both one book, but I've read like all books that have been made into feature films except for Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which I have to get onto. But Sunrise on the Reaping is definitely very high up on my TBR list. I am not going to be watching that movie without having read the book first. So that's like a very important book that I want to read. Also, I've read That's Devastating, and I'm very sensitive. Like I cry over fictional characters and I get too attached to them sometimes, but this is definitely a priority on my TBR list. Moving on to TBR books that I don't have like physically with me. The next book on my TBR is Son of Neptune, which is the second book in the Heroes of Olympus series. I recently finished The Lost Hero, and let's just say that was a hard read. Yeah, I'm thinking about like how long it took me to finish that book, that book was a hard read for me. Genuinely, like, I started reading it in like December or like, yeah, like beginning or mid-December, and I didn't finish it until last week. So it took me like December, January, February, March, like almost 2.5 months to finish that book, which is wild, but it is so confusing. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Jason, Piper, and Leo and like the new characters. Like, it's not that I don't like the new characters. For me, it was just very confusing at first because Percy's missing, and I'm so used to being in Percy's headspace, especially for like the first 5 books in the Percy Jackson and Olympian series, and now he's missing. And we have like small cameos of Annabeth and like other campers and everything, but like Percy's not the main narrator, so it felt so weird. And then you have like, these are not like spoilers for the books, but you have like a lot of dreams, demigods' dreams. So you obviously have those like dream sequences. You have like these dangers and everything. You face these monsters. Like, obviously it's the demigod world, so you face monsters. And it was just like very overwhelming, especially in like the middle of the book. It gets incredibly overwhelming when you're talking about like the sequence of events happening and like the characters. And so that was genuinely, it was so hard for me to force myself to read that book, because after that happened, I was so confused. I was like, I don't like this book. Like, I genuinely gave up. And then like last week I was like, you know what? I'm almost done. I'm like halfway through. I'm gonna force myself to finish the book. And I sat down and I finished it in one sitting. And I will say, after I forced myself to read the book, it was way easier and like to like the book, because at the ending it gets way better. A very beloved character returns. For people who haven't read the books, I'm not gonna spoil it, but a very beloved character returns. You get like a great cameo, and there's a big plot twist, which is really, really, really like interesting and kept me intrigued. So if I had to rate the book, honestly, I'd give it like 2.5 stars or like 3 stars out of 5. Like, it's not gonna be like 4 or 5 stars, but it's also not gonna be as low as 1 or 2. 3 stars would be my rating, but it was a good book. But in the Son of Neptune, I've heard that Percy's back, so it's gonna be really nice to be in his POV again, which I'm really, really excited about. So that's definitely one book that's on my TBR. Then the next book that is like on my TBR, but I don't have it physically, as I said, is Fake Skating. This was recently announced, but Fake Skating is being turned into like a film adaptation. And so I will be watching that movie, because I am a sucker for a good like fake romance turned into like a real romance, and that is like what Fake Skating is about. And so I will be reading that book before news for the casting and everything comes out, because I want to be like part of like the fandom, or like part of like what's happening when news for the adaptation of that book comes out. And so I will be reading that. And as I said, Lynn Painter's books are like rated really high, and like all of her books are really good. And she has another one coming as well this year. So I'm really, really excited to read a lot of her books. But yeah, that does it for today's video. It was a short one, but this is my TBR, I guess spring TBR, spring summer TBR. I wanna get this TBR over with, because it doesn't seem like a lot, but like with the length of some books, it will take me a while to read this, but I am so excited to read these books. For The Titan's Curse, I will have a reading vlog up of me rereading the book in preparation for season 3, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope I'll enjoy these books, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!